Well, no, I'm not because he's my current boyfriend, so I will not be ghosting him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so sweet of you to not ghost your boyfriend.
It is truly the least I could do.
It's honestly the least anyone could do.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, welcome to Two Gay Mats podcast.
I had follow-up questions, but then it was like, we're on.
Oh no, we're live, guys. We're on the air. The public is listening.
Yes, we can't. Well, we'll be off at some point. So I have follow-up questions for you.
We'll have a powwow.
We will, I assume.
You assume correctly.
Okay.
No one knows what we're talking about. It's very exciting.
That's the thing. Can anyone read between the lines? I mean, probably.
Probably, but
I don't know if subtlety's our strong suit.
No, with me, definitely not. No.
Yeah, I guess
I've been told that many times by my college professors. They're just like, try making the character more human. And I'm just like, what does that mean? Like, they're like, are you sure you're really feeling these things? And I'm like, yeah, I am.
I think when someone asks you to be more human, they're asking you to be more boring.
Exactly.
I really do.
Which is why I will never listen to any of their advice.
All right. Happy 2020 to us all.
Happy 2020 to us all. Subtlety is for boring people, to quote the movie of the decade. Once 2020 starts, it'll be the defining movie of the new decade coming in because it comes out 2020. And that
Devos?
Movie, yes.
Like you're referring to your own movie.
Of course. What else would be the movie?
I don't know. I was like, I have heard that. And I think it was something you said.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Then you put it in the movie.
Yeah.
I feel like the movie is half quotes you said and then half quotes I've said.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love that.
Get ready, guys. You're all going to love it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Gay Mats podcast. Can you believe that it's our 18th podcast?
18th podcast. And can you also believe it's also our 18th year of living?
It is exactly that. I feel like this is
our golden podcast. Because it's the podcast number that coincides with our birth.
Yes.
Or with our ages.
It's also like if we were Mariah Carey's number ones, if our podcast were Mariah Carey's number ones, this would be the Touch My Body episode.
Yeah, but it's not going to be her number ones for long, motherfucker.
Hey,
a month from now.
That means next episode's going to be All I Want for Christmas Is You if everything goes right this holiday season.
Absolutely.
Can you believe?
What a week.
I know.
What a month and a half it is going to be. The end of the decade's always exciting. I mean, not that we've lived through many, but
I'm just excited for all the lists that are going to come out.
It's going to be nothing but
the best of best of best. Oh, sorry. And that would be exciting for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'd love that. You know what I plan on doing? I plan on ranking once the day of the Oscars. You know how I have an obnoxious Facebook post where I rank the best picture nominees?
I do.
I'm going to rank every single best picture nominee from 2010 to 2019.
Wait, all of them? Why not just the winners?
The winner, because that's boring. That's only like 10.
So you're going to do what, 50 to 70 or however many nominees there are now?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I know.
Where are you going to post it? Just on Facebook?
On Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, no one here who's listening is a lot of people who are not Facebook friends with me who are listening.
Well,
here,
then they would want to see what your list was. You got to make it more public. Yeah, you got to share it.
Yeah, totally.
Share it with the people.
Totally.
Matt Steele, how was your week?
My week has been a little dramatic.
How so?
Just a little sad and stressful for some reasons, but it's fine.
Yes.
But you know what? I can't complain. Work was good this week. I made a lot of money. It's been very busy. I started putting together the new bedroom furniture that I got. I just spent the past 2 hours putting together an end table. What else? Good stuff. Oh, and I've also kind of been sick with allergies again.
Oh gosh.
Because the weather's going up and down.
It is changing. I wish it would stay in one place. I'm ready for it to be either, I don't know, I want it to feel like fall and just stay there. This new burst of summer. It's like, you know what? I think I'm over summer.
I feel like LA fall is like East Coast spring, like how it's just constant. Every day is a different temperature, like a completely different temperature and a different atmosphere and a different feel, which is very, very upsetting.
It is. It's like I'm a person who likes to be able to plan, and it's like, okay, now am I going to be wearing my outfits that are like cardigans and like flannels, or should I be still going to wearing short sleeve shirts? You know, it's crazy.
Or it's like really hot during the daytime, but it's freezing at night.
I know. I have my heater going, my space heater every night.
You do?
Do you?
I don't know. I'm not. My bedroom's not very cold. cold or hot.
Really?
My room is the temperature in my new room is pretty good.
I feel like I get cold in here.
Really? It's because your room is quite big. I feel like it's very drafty.
It's very drafty. There's a lot going on, and I haven't gotten my rug, which I have gotten I've ordered from West Elm, but it has not come yet.
You got the rug from West Elm? How much does a rug from West Elm cost?
It was a pretty penny, but I did get it on a day that it was worldwide, like a company-wide sale for them, and so it was like 40% off or something.
And so it was $2,000.
It was much less than that, of course,
but much more than you would want to spend on the rug.
Exactly. But I guess rugs are just in general kind of expensive, is what I'm
and it makes sense. I mean, they really do set the mood of the room.
They do, and then they take up a lot, especially like this is going to be a big rug for a big room, and so it's got to pull its weight, and I guess I got to pay for it. So I'm just sick of spending money. I feel like I need a sugar daddy is what I need.
Yeah. So you are going to ghost your boyfriend so you can get a sugar daddy.
I feel like that doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. I can have a sugar daddy who just like wants to like hang out.
Who isn't your boyfriend?
Right. Yeah. And then I have my boyfriend. Oh, does that not make sense?
I bet you could find something like that. I bet you could find an arrangement like that.
I don't know if everyone involved would love the idea, but we'll work it out.
Well, if you just hang out,
we're just like going to dinner every once in a while, giving them an update on like my day,
getting a massage.
Yeah,
but let's just like a nice massage.
I don't really.
You seem stressed out, buddy. Let me rub your shoulders.
I don't love giving people that aren't my boyfriend massages.
He'll be giving you the massage then.
Oh, I don't want that either.
Maybe he'll offer massages to your boyfriend as well. And maybe your boyfriend's sugar daddy as well. And it would work out well for both of them.
Max, we could give each other hugs. Like, goodbye.
Okay.
Hug. That's all I'm willing to do.
All right. If anyone's out there who is willing to accept this type of relationship.
Yes. Who needs a sugar baby that they are only allowed to hug? Because if you want that, I'm available.
I feel like I could find a sugar daddy who just wants to like sit around with me and listen to me talk.
I mean, I would not do that.
Well, not you, but like also you're not rich. So like, I don't want your sugar daddy status. But like, I feel like I could find a guy who just like, just like sit and chat with me. You talk about interesting things. You make me feel young and alive.
Couldn't they just go to the podcast and listen to you talk? Like, I feel like, is that not enough?
I guess.
I know there's so many of your words out there now that like, you've lowered the need for that.
All right. Well, you know what? If anyone out there wants to be the sugar daddy, the non-sexual sugar daddy that we want, who wants to hear us talk, you can go to our Patreon. And for just $1
that
and $2 Matt's episode,
yes,
you can be our sugar daddy.
Oh my God, this is the weirdest pitch for Patreon, but not wrong.
But not wrong.
But not wrong.
Because guess what? Patreon is fucking exciting, and we just did a Guys and Dolls review, and spoiler alert, Matt Palmer liked Guys and Dolls.
I did like the music. The synopsis was tough.
The synopsis, once you see it, you'll realize like, this is really cute and really well done. Yeah.
I like really cute, really well done.
Yeah.
So my week's also been good.
How's your week been?
We're just gonna do that.
I haven't gotten there. I was gonna ask you.
Were you?
Yeah. I figured we would jump into news for idiots.
I knew
Matt Palmer, how was your week?
My week was very good. A lot of my week, I mean, not really a lot of my week because it's only been this weekend, but this weekend was BravoCon, which was the inaugural convention of Bravo celebrities. And so all of these Bravo celebrities came to New York, and they had all of these panels talking about different shows like Married to Medicine, all the Housewives. There's so many there. The Vanderpump Rules kids were there, and they actually screened the first episode of next season of Vanderpump Rules. So I'm, of course, furious that I wasn't there. But they also released, on top of that, they released the trailer for the next season of Vanderpump Rules. And I must say, it looks exciting. It looks fantastic. Season 7, I feel like people who are in the Pump Rules universe will tell you it was kind of a weak season. It just was not. There was a lot. It was just like they wanted us to forgive Jax Taylor after all of these years of being such a piece of shit. And it's like, you know what? I'm just never going to be on this person's team. I'm just not. So, but this next season, there are a lot of new cast members. I think there are like 5 new full-time cast members, which I'm
anyone of color.
No.
Okay.
No gay people. No
maybe
people of
season
color.
9.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Right,
I mean, some of them could be like vaguely Latino.
I feel like
I don't know.
I feel like that's sort of like any production company sort of just like, we have a person of color. This person's vaguely Latino.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, I mean, but it looks exciting. But the only thing about it is when you watch the trailer, there are so many new people because the cast was already, I believe, 11, 12 main cast members, and now there are like 16, 17.
That's way too much.
It's like, how are we going to follow all of these people? Like, it feels like they need to split it off into 2 shows. The people like that started the show, the kind of OG cast members who now are rich and are buying $1 million houses in the Valley, and then all the new people who still work at the restaurant with Lisa Vanderpump. I feel like they need to be 2 separate shows, but you know, I'm keeping an open mind.
Yeah, you get stressed out when there's like more than 6 housewives.
That's the thing. That is exactly what I was thinking. Like 7's too many housewives and 16 is too many main cast members on a television show. But I'm excited to see it. It seems like a lot happens this year. I feel like it's going to be a lot about how Kristen has a falling out with Katie and Stassi, like kind of maybe for good. Like,
I'm so sorry.
I know you've only seen the first part of the first season, but yeah, they had been friends on and off for a long, long time. And it seems like that's kind of kaput. And also, Jax and Tom Sandoval have a thing. Jax gets married to Brittany. Stassi and Beau get engaged. I don't know. I'm just excited for the next season. I think it looks like it's going to be good. And, you know, on top of that, on top of Real Housewives of Atlanta, which just came back recently, and the fact that Real Housewives of Potomac is currently filming, and there have already been lawsuits between the housewives because this girl, Candace, who's horrible, she basically had been getting in this fight with this girl, Monique, who's amazing. But Monique's just a little... She's wonderful and very, very rich, but like you can tell that she grew up in a place that was more rough around the edges. And so she does not shy away from physically harming people. Okay,
well, sometimes people gotta.
I mean, that's the thing is all of last season, Monique was pregnant and Candace kept being like, drag me, Monique, drag me. And then this season, well, Monique dragged her. And, you know, and it's kind of like, well, you asked for it. And now Candace is like suing her, but like all of the fandom's on Monique's side. People aren't filming with Monique because they're on Candace's side on the show just because they don't like Monique because she's so popular. I don't know. I'm just feeling like there could be a good set of Bravo shows coming on right now because, you know, I don't watch OC. I don't watch Dallas. Those 2 have been on forever, it feels like.
Yeah.
And, but also in our first news for idiots, just to do a great segue right into it.
Okay.
There's been a new Housewives city announced. If you had to guess what the Housewives city, I'm going to give you 3 guesses.
I feel like I heard this, but then I forgot.
Great. That works. What's the new Housewives city?
There's already a Dallas. Nashville.
No. I'm going to have to cut all of this air.
Seattle.
No.
There's no rich people in Seattle.
I'm sure there are rich people in Seattle.
But they're not like fun rich people.
They're probably sad because it's so rainy.
Yeah. I don't know. What other... Oh, Chicago?
No, but that was what people wanted. People were hoping for Chicago.
Yeah. There's no Midwest.
Lake City.
Oh, genius. Salt Lake City, genius.
I mean, it is genius. It's definitely a unique point of view for the world and the country, but I'm a little nervous that we're veering into TLC Sister Wives territory. You know what I mean?
I love that.
I feel like that.
Well, I mean, are any of them in
I don't know if any of them are in polyamorous relationships, but I do know, I feel like there's going to be a lot of discussion about. Like,
I don't think they're specifically called polyamorous, because it's just polygamous. Yeah,
excuse me.
Yeah,
I don't know if there are any polygamists on the show, but there definitely are. Like, I know that a big thing that in the press release was like some of them are Mormon and some of them aren't, and it's like, okay. So of course I'll watch the beginning of it, see if I'm excited about it. But it's also like, I mean, we have Atlanta and Potomac, but like this sounds like a very white place.
Oh, it's the whitest.
Exactly. Yes. And it's like, I would love another housewife city that wasn't white people, but you take what you get and you don't get upset, they say. So we did our main channel video this week was about Taylor Swift and about the fact that Scott Borchetta and Scooter Braun are disallowing her from using her old music in a Netflix special that she's producing, and also her AMA's performance where she's getting Artist of the Decade. Well, Big Machine clapped back at Taylor Swift's statement. I'm not sure if you saw it. It's a long statement that doesn't really say much of anything except like we never said she couldn't perform in the documentary or on the AMAs, but it's like, well, you aren't saying that she can't perform her new album. Yeah. And it's like, that's what you're saying in this like release. And so someone on Taylor's team was like, this is exactly what was said. This is how it's coming across. This is, it's like, this is you're just trying to get other people on your side, but this is so weak. And then I read today that apparently Scooter Braun is like not the one making these decisions. And he is upset with Scott Borchetta for not letting her license these songs. And is like, just let her license the songs. This is making me look bad. And so apparently Scooter Braun's very hands off and like what actually gets.
So it's Scott Borchetta.
Supposedly. And I don't know if this is just him trying to like save face or whatever, but supposedly this is not a Scooter Braun idea.
Okay.
So
Well, everyone's fighting.
I mean, the girls are fighting. Hopefully they can resolve this. And hopefully Scott Borchetta just gets enough bad feedback that he just lets her sing the songs. And it would just be good for them too, because they'll make money when people buy the songs on iTunes and stream them. So whatever. John Legend is the sexiest man alive.
I know. Congratulations, John Legend.
I love that for him.
Congratulations, Chrissy Teigen, who gets to have sex with John Legend.
I know. She changed her Twitter bio to like currently having sex with the sexiest man alive, which is
amazing.
Funny. I honestly kind of felt bad for him a little bit because I feel like there's always such like backlash about whoever gets sexiest man alive, unless it's like an Idris Elba, unless it's someone who's like everyone finds them attractive. Like when it was Blake Shelton, I feel like there was a lot of like
I felt bad for Blake Shelton. I really felt bad for Blake Shelton. Like people were just dragging him so hard, and it's like, come on, people, like this isn't a real award.
Right, this isn't a real thing. You know? And also I feel like John Legend is a person that I have thought in the past, like we don't talk enough about how he is very good looking.
Yeah, he's very good looking.
And whenever I see him like without a shirt on, I'm like, oh, he actually has a great body, and like we discuss it. So I think that's nice for him, but I do feel like he's getting a lot of probably like Arthur as the sexiest man alive memes and stuff, because he does kind of look like Arthur and or kind of look like a baby.
Aww. But his skin looks so good. He looks so young.
That's the thing. Like, aren't we all looking for you?
Don't we all wish we had skin as nice as John Legend?
It's true. If you could pick the sexiest man alive, like who would be the cover of your issue?
Oh, it's Niall DeMarco.
Oh. I love that there was no thought.
No, there's absolutely no thought. He's the sexiest man alive. Oh, on the planet.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. The thing is, we watched that season of Top Model together, and you're like, he should not win.
Oh no, I didn't think he should win that season of Top Model.
I thought it looked great.
But like, he's the sexiest man alive, and he's a great celebrity. He's a great, a great dancer, I guess, because he also won Dancing with the Stars.
That's true. A great deaf advocate.
Great advocate. Seems like a nice person.
Yeah.
I would have sex with him.
I mean, I think that was implied. I don't know that you needed to verbalize it, but I mean, we can try to get in touch with his people.
Yeah, who would you consider the sexiest man alive?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's hard. I feel like of the celebrities I can think of like top of my head, I think Anthony should be in the conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
I also think I realize that he's not a big enough celebrity, but you know my feelings on Tyler C from The Bachelorette.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If I hear one more thing about Tyler C.
Hey, Tyler C. He's a gorgeous man. What can I tell you? I think they're on the list. I'd have to think about it more. I feel like celebrity hotness is not, as someone who I feel like I was so into Zac Efron for so long, I feel like there isn't like a huge celebrity that I'm like super duper attracted to.
Yeah, well, also with me especially is like celebrity hotness to me is different from like actual person hotness. Yes. Not that these celebrities aren't actual people yet, but like blah, blah, blah. You know, like there are so many people who I find like the sexiest people on the planet just because like I know them and like to me like I find them sexy. Yeah. Or there's also like people who I find sexy in my trash opinions.
Yes. I can say yes.
But then there's also like celebrity hot people who like are objectively sexy.
Right.
And I feel like Niall DeMarco fits all those boxes for me.
Has Chris Hemsworth gotten this before? This feels like something Chris Hemsworth would win.
I don't know. No, I feel like they usually give it to older people. Like, so like Chris Hemsworth still feels like a little young to me. Niall DeMarco.
How old is Chris Hemsworth?
I don't know. I would say late 30s.
Oh, that's not young. Is
that? No, but I feel like they kind of give it to more established people, like people who are kind of like in their 40s, 50s, like people who have kind of their names have been in the ether for several years.
Okay.
Like also like Jason Momoa is also like objectively like one of the sexiest people on the planet. But I feel like he's a relatively new celebrity, so it makes more sense to have like a John Legend or an Idris Elba.
Chris Hemsworth has won it.
Oh, he has won it.
He has. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the date of it. Back when he was 31 in 2014.
Oh, damn.
So he won. So I guess some people do get it.
Okay.
Go Chris.
I kind of find that it's like people who are a little more older. I don't know.
I could see that. This is just a follow up to an argument that we had not even on camera, but
okay.
Not really an argument, but just something you felt strongly about.
Okay.
You were a person that said Ford versus Ferrari. Who wants to see this?
Jesus Christ.
Do you want to hear the box office numbers?
Yeah, give me the box office.
It is the #1 movie of the weekend with $31 million made over the weekend for Ford versus Ferrari. Matt Steele, what are your thoughts?
Okay, I literally saw the trailer for this commercial when I was seeing Joker with my friend Connor. And my friend Connor is very like he's a guy.
Yeah.
Like he likes building things and loves fixing cars. I'm always asking him like, hey, my car's making this sound. What is that?
What am I doing?
Exactly what it is. And
That's nice.
And I'm like, how do you know this? And he's like, I don't know. I just fucking know it. So he's very much like a bro.
That's a good friend to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And so we were sitting next to each other before Joker had started. And I see this trailer starts and I'm like, where is this going? What direction are we in? Christian Bale is skinny again. Like where are we going with this? And then like sort of like 3/4 of the way through the trailer, I realize, oh, it's about fucking cars. Like I could not follow the trailer whatsoever because to me, it's just, there's no stakes whatsoever. It's just like they're kind of like trying to make a car go really, really fast. And so after the trailer was over, I turned to him and he turns to me. And at the same exact time, I say, who the fuck would want to see that? And he says to me, I really want to see that. At the same exact time we said that to each other. And so then I brought it up with you and your boyfriend, and your boyfriend was just like, well, I don't know, it sounds very interesting because, you know, the rivalry between Ford and Ferrari.
Well, no, just that like, Ford is like, you know, a low car and then a Ferrari is like a Ferrari. Like that's a big car. You know,
to me, like they're both, all cars are equal. Like I know nothing about cars. So like when you say Ford, I'm just like, oh, okay, a car. And when you say Ferrari, I'm kind of just like, oh, okay, maybe like a little fancy car. Like I don't.
Right.
I'm like, but there are fancy Fords. In my opinion,
I don't know if there. I mean, maybe
in my imagination there
Truly, I could have no less opinion on this. It's just like I don't understand why people see Fast and the Furious movies, but they make a lot of money. Clearly, there's a demographic that is not us.
But see, to me, the Fast and the Furious movies kind of sounds like there are stakes involved because it's just like, oh, like there's usually some sort of like drug scandal or something in there. I don't know. But there's like not drag racing, but street racing, which is like, you know, people can die from this.
People could die in this race too.
I guess,
isn't it like NASCAR or
like
something?
The dilemma is between like two companies that I don't give a shit about. Like it's just I don't understand why anyone would want to see it, but apparently everyone see it, and apparently like it's really good.
Wait, really?
Yes, apparently it's really good. Everyone I know.
Are you gonna go see it?
Well, yeah, I told Connor I'd see it with him. I promised Connor I'd see it with him. But so yeah, like people I know who don't give a shit about cars are just like saw a screening of it at the SAG Foundation or something like that, and they're just like, it's actually really
Do you think it's gonna get nominated for Oscars?
It could get nominated for Best Picture, yeah.
What?
It absolutely could.
Wow.
The bros are gonna nominate it. I see that. I'm so biased because like there is nothing on this planet I find more boring than cars.
Of course.
Like there are many things on this planet I find boring.
Cars or video games?
Which is worse?
Yeah.
Cars.
Okay.
By a mile. Like
all right.
To me, cars. If you want to put me to sleep, start talking about cars. I don't know anything about cars. I don't care to know anything about cars.
Right.
I just want mine to work. It's fine. It's a 2-door hatchback, roll down windows and non-power locks, and I'm happy with it.
Love that for you.
I don't care about cars in the slightest, and I'm going to see this fucking movie.
You
A,
are.
because I told Connor I'd see it with him, and B, because now it's going to get nominated for Best Fucking Picture.
I know. So you have to know why you hate it.
I have to figure out where to put it in my giant Best of the Decade ranking.
And apparently Charlie's Angels flopped. It only made $8.6 million.
That's unfortunately not surprising.
I just think that whole Charlie's Angels thing seems so weird. It's like that Ariana Grande executive produced soundtrack like didn't do anything. Now the movie didn't do anything. It's like, was this cursed from the start? Is it not good? Like what's happening?
Everyone I know who saw it said it was really fun.
Really?
Yeah, everyone I know who saw it said that it was surprisingly good, but they were surprised that it was good because I feel like the marketing for it wasn't very
the marketing. Maybe they weren't putting a lot of money into the marketing, but it's like you've already spent enough money on the movie. Like apparently it cost them like $50 million to make the movie, so you might as well try to get your money back.
I don't know. I was thinking about it today because I saw that Elizabeth Banks had a statement about it saying like there are 37 Spider-Man movies and so when you complain that, oh, it didn't make money because it's a remake, there are literally 1 trillion Spider-Man movies. It's just that men don't want to see movies about women. And so it's kind of just I mean, what she's saying is not untrue.
Right.
But also I will say when it comes to the movie, I feel like a good reason why the first Charlie's Angels movies did well, not just because they were the first sort of movie makes of them, but because there was a little more of an element of obvious camp to them.
Yeah, it was like, this is a joke. Or not a joke, but
not a joke, but they were three very, very, very established actresses.
Yes.
Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, and Cameron Diaz. The public had big, giant opinions of them, so it's kind of fun to just sort of see their personalities put together on screen. The only name in this really was
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah. And the other two, I'm sure they're talented young ladies, but they don't really have much of a name for themselves. They don't really have a personality established for themselves. So it kind of seemed like they were two similar girls.
Right. Apparently one of the girls is the girl who played Jasmine in the Aladdin live action.
Oh, is she?
Yes.
Okay. I heard she's like the best thing in that Aladdin movie. Yeah, I hear she's very good in the Aladdin movie.
Love that.
But I feel like just visually and marketing wise, it kind of seemed like there didn't seem like enough differentiation between the two girls. It was like pretty girl with short hair, you know?
Totally.
So I feel like with that, they kind of lost a little campy element to it.
I just feel bad for like probably mostly Elizabeth Banks, who like directed and like put so much of her life on hold for this thing. And, you know, I guess it happens. You know, we all have our glitters from time to time. So
yeah,
you just got to make it
She's
through.
doing well. She's a hard worker. She's a go-getter. She's going to have her big movie that gets nominated for Best Picture.
I hope so.
Nominated for Best Director.
I mean, just speaking of movies before we move on, I don't want to spoil Last Christmas, but I did see it this weekend.
What are our thoughts? Where would it rank in the pictures of the year? Will it be on my best of the decade?
We all know I love Christmas movies. We all know I love Actually. If it's well made and fun and makes me feel things and has Christmas lights, I am in. This movie was kind of ridiculous. Like,
tell us why.
I don't want to spoil. Maybe if you're planning on seeing Last Christmas, skip the next 30 seconds. Okay, so the whole plot of the movie is like it's the guy Henry Golding and what's her face.
Oh, girl, I don't know.
Emilia Clarke.
Okay.
And so basically at the end of the movie, you find out that the Christmas prior, Last Christmas, Henry Golding has died and she got a heart transplant with his heart. Mm-hmm. And so actually last Christmas, he gave her his heart. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me with this? It just was like, even for someone who loves a Christmas movie and loves silly moment, it's like, this is too much. Like, this is ridiculous. It just sounded like an idea that someone had while drunk and listening to George Michael, and then they decided to make it a movie. And then in the middle of it, Emma Thompson just like makes it about Brexit also.
I want to know more about that. When you told me that there's a Brexit element to it, I'm really fascinated.
I truly couldn't really tell you. It's just like, she plays an immigrant and then she's like, people want us out. And then at the end, it's like, well, we never want you out. Oh, okay. It's very thin. It just is like, this should have been on television. And even compared to some of the Netflix movies I've seen, it wasn't like the best of them.
Oh man, is it successful? Like, is it making money?
I don't know.
Which made more money, this or Charlie's Angels?
Oh, I mean, I think Charlie's Angels.
Okay.
Yeah, like when I was just looking at Box Office Mojo or whatever, I think it was not. Last Christmas it's so far made $22 million in 2 weekends. This weekend it made $6.7 million.
Okay.
So I guess it's doing fine, but like, it's not great. I had high hopes. I love a Christmas movie. I love a rom-com.
I'm sorry about that for you. I wished more for you for your holiday season.
So do I. Speaking of, this is the second Monique we're talking about on the podcast, but this is your Monique and not my Monique.
This is the Monique.
Did you hear about this?
No.
Monique is suing Netflix over the discriminatory pay offer for her stand-up special. So we're still not letting
I had no idea she
go.
was like trying to get a lawsuit.
I didn't either.
What's the legalities behind this lawsuit?
I mean, it's unclear for me. The complaint says that Netflix offered her a lowball and discriminatory offer of $500,000 as a talent fee for a 1-hour stand-up special, while other comedians were offered millions of dollars per special. The suit also accuses Netflix executives of using racist language. Kevin Spacey's name is also brought up in the filing, accusing Netflix of turning a blind eye to racial abuse Spacey committed against black workers on the set of House of Cards. How is this related to Monique? I think what? That is what I said.
Is there evidence of this racist language?
I don't know. This is literally all
there has to be, or else she does not have a case.
I mean, Monique has a lot of time on her hands.
Hey, you know what? She wrote. You know what? Monique may have a lot to say, and sometimes you don't like how she says it, and sometimes you don't like what she says. But Monique always, always, always has a point.
She has a point most of the time. Sometimes there are points that she could make in a notebook or in private with her husband, not on a podcast or with her husband or like she does a lot.
Monique does a lot.
She does a lot.
She is very brave. She speaks her mind, which is what I love about her. I love. In case y'all didn't know, I love Monique. And I will say the Netflix thing, it's very, very hard because a lot of people sort of complain like, oh, why does Monique think that she should get as much as Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock and everything? And the thing is, that's not what she was complaining about. She was complaining about the fact that when she got $500,000 offer, when her husband, who's her manager, tried to negotiate that, Netflix flat out said, we're not negotiating. It's $500,000 or nothing. So she's complaining that they weren't even allowed to negotiate, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, everyone, negotiates.
Especially because, all these other famous people were allowed to negotiate and everything. And another thing this has nothing to do with anything really, but it's something that I've always wanted to say. Okay. I applaud Monique for how she handled a certain aspect of this. A lot of people, when she brought up Amy Schumer or these other comedians that were getting more than her and everything, a lot of people kind of dragged, just using Amy Schumer as an example, a lot of people were just like, well, Amy Schumer, first of all, I don't think Amy Schumer's funny, but, she's famous. She's like really famous right now. So that's why she's getting so much money. And Monique never complained about people being less talented than her and getting that deal. Monique was always very supportive of all the other comedians who were getting their money. She was like, if that's what they were able to get, good for them and everything. So that's just sort of something that I admired about, because she could have easily been like, I'm a better comedian than Amy Schumer. She's just getting this because, she's white or she's younger, whatever reason. She could have easily done that and she didn't. So that is something I admire about Monique and how she handled that situation.
Do you think she should be having a lawsuit?
I want to see the evidence.
Okay. So you want to be in the courtroom.
I want to be in the courtroom. I want to be a jury member.
I should have assumed. I didn't know.
If there's someone who should be a jury member to this, it's fucking me. I would just be in that courtrum just being like,
no, I feel like you would immediately, as soon as the trial, like they were like, this is who it is. And you like lit up. They'd be like, he can't do it. Get him out of here.
I'm a little biased. They would see my old phone case of Monique holding her Oscar.
I don't think you're right for this. This is just news for you, Matt Steele.
Okay.
Apparently Richard Madden and his best pal and roommate, Brandon Flynn, are no longer sharing their LA home after a huge fallout. So Brandon, apparently Richard and Brandon are no longer sharing the same house in LA. Brandon, who will be the face of Versace next year, has asked bosses at his fashion house not to invite Richard to the party the brand is throwing next month. So I don't know if Richard Madden has DMs you can slide into, but sounds like he's available.
Oh, we do need a sugar daddy.
That's the thing. So get in there, mix it up.
I think he wants to do more than just like talk, though. Maybe.
I'm saying this is for you. I think he's looking for some action. You don't think Richard Madden's attractive?
Of course I do, but I don't know him.
Well, you don't want to try to go on a date with him?
I don't know if we're compatible. We need to chat a little bit. We need to know how he feels about Monique, and then I'll be able to date him.
That's how you know?
Yeah. It's like I ask him questions. I'm just like, how do you feel about Monique? How do you feel about Hillary Clinton? How do you feel about Pinkberry? Because let's go.
Wait, how do you feel about Pinkberry?
It's the greatest thing on the planet.
Oh, okay, good. I like it too.
Of course.
Great. Look at us agreeing. This never happens. Also, this is for me. Apparently, there's a Friends reunion special in the works at HBO Max. So it wouldn't be an unscripted special. That would just be them like probably a retrospective talking and stuff. I'd love that. We love Friends.
We do love Friends. I know. I figured you'd be excited about this.
I'm very excited.
I feel like this is a lot of like movie and television.
I mean, there was a lot of news this week. So we take what we can get. Lastly, would you buy a new Motorola Razr foldable smartphone for $1,500?
It's $1,500?
Yes.
Oh, damn. Well, I'm not buying a non-Apple anything. But, if Apple did not exist and the iPhone didn't exist, to me, I don't trust that screen's not going to break somehow. Like the way it bends, how does it not bend without getting a crease? I don't know.
I mean,
how does it do that?
I mean, I like that it flips. Like that is one thing I miss about the time. I do miss flipping a phone off.
Yeah.
Like
especially it saves so much room.
Yeah.
It is cool. It's very cool. And if I just imagine that screen breaking, or bending.
Oh, sorry. Whoops. Well, it's not that bendy one. Do you see? It's an actual razor again. Like it's that.
Yeah, but like the screen.
It folds down.
Yeah, it folds down, but like, how is there not a crease in the screen?
You don't think that? I'm sure they've thought it through.
I know, I'm sure they have, but like, I don't know. I don't trust it yet. I need to see it and hold one in my hands.
Okay, I would like to see one and play with it, but yeah, I agree.
And then be like, okay, when Apple gets this, then
I don't imagine they'll become so big that Apple will need to get it. But you never know.
You never know. Yeah, but guys, come on, we're homosexuals. We have iPhones.
It's true. It's true. So do you have any other news for idiots before we move on to the next segment?
I don't think there are any more exciting news things that have happened this week.
All right.
If there have, then we'll come back after the break and be like part 2 of news for idiots.
All right. Well, we're going to take our part 2, or we're going to take our break now, and we'll be back soon with more 2 Gay Matt's podcast. Do you think they missed us for that moment?
They absolutely did.
Oh.
For that one verse of da-na-na-na-na-na.
It's hard that, not everybody has that.
We should discuss the history of that music.
Yes.
In this moment, because we don't have it. Okay, guys. We can't do Email My Heart this round.
Why can't we?
We didn't get any emails. Which is interesting because some weeks we just get a bunch of emails and we're just like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. And this week, no, not an email.
And you know what? That's fine. Maybe we answered all your questions.
It's fine. We're just so transparent.
Exactly.
Everyone just knows so much about
if you have a new question that pops up, feel free to email us at 2gaymats, TWO, and we'll maybe react to it
at gmail.com.
I mean at gmail.com.
At gmail,
what other emails I have?
We're not heathens here.
Hotmail. Hello.
Yahoo.
It's 2019.
Oh, one of my very good friends is still Yahoo.
Really?
Yes. She still goes by her Yahoo. And that's what she gives people.
Really?
That's what she gives people.
Has anyone said to her what
yes, and she's like, I don't care. She also refuses to do Venmo.
Who is this person?
Do I
know her?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Is it? Wait. Okay, that is it.
No.
Good, my queen. I love her.
Yeah, but you know what? Some people just love an old-fashioned Yahoo.
Hey.
Some people just love an AOL.
You know what she should get? That razor phone. She'll be right at home there.
That's absolutely true.
So, okay, the history of the music.
So we'll discuss this instead of
it's not even that long of a story. It's just that I made it, and I think I started writing a song to it, and then I was like, I don't like the song, and so we used it in 2 Gay Matt's.
Perfect, guys.
And we also got a comment this week on a video from a person that I think came to us through the podcast because they're expecting the sound quality to be a certain way, and they were like, "Why is the music playing all through the video?" It's like, well, it's a YouTube video, and
the music has been music. If you go to our YouTube, literally all of our videos have music playing in the background. So
exactly.
It's just not in the podcast,
right? Because I feel like that's a normal thing to do on YouTube. It's not because the thing is, you can only get the audio of your voice to sound so good on a video. There's different ways to do it, but it's not going to be as good quality as this is because we have mics pointed at our face.
Yeah, we also they must only know us through the podcast. They must have known us through the podcast and then found our YouTube channel through that because they're just like, oh, it sounds terrible, and it's just no, it sounds like how
it sounds the best it sounded.
It's just
actually
for the podcast we just have different microphones.
Exactly,
and my face is literally pressed up against this microphone like I'm filleting it. Yeah,
please don't. It. You did lick it last week?
That was by accident.
Was it though?
It was.
I don't know. Yeah. I feel like you just wanted to make a moment.
Oh no, we could make this an ASMR channel and just have licking sounds.
I don't want that.
You know I hate ASMR.
I know. So. I mean, not everybody. I don't know.
If people follow us. If it gets people to,
Where's your integrity, Matt Steele? It's I'm going to do this thing I hate just because people like it. No.
Well, I mean, hey, if someone wanted me to be in Ford versus Ferrari, I'd be like, I love cars.
I would love to see you on that press tour. It's all right, what's always drawing the cars? But you know what? I grew up loving cars.
They'll be like, oh, tell us about this movie. What's it about? And I'll be like, you know what? I don't know.
No idea.
No fucking clue. They're trying to make these cars go real fast.
Which is just about how I felt about Guys and Dolls when you told me to read the synopsis. If you had asked me what is this show about, I'd be like, no clue. Craps?
A little bit, yeah.
It's like craps and a godly woman and...
Godly women.
Yeah.
Like Sergeant Sarah Brown.
Yeah. And, the Nathan and Nicely.
Nicely Johnson. Liver Lips Louie. Benny South.
Those names were really...
Harry the Horse. Big Julie.
This is all white shit that I was really not taking to, but then the songs were good. So
of course, yeah. If you want to hear our review of Guys and Dolls, then you can become a patron. I mean, and that video will be available at some point.
Yeah, at some point very soon. I also love that we've promoted Patreon like 9 times.
Of course.
Episode. But we have been getting more patrons lately, so maybe we should keep doing it.
We totally should. Once we hit 100 patrons,
right, I forgot about that.
We're going to review all of Beyonce's discography.
And don't you want to hear us review Beyonce's discography?
I also had an idea that you're really going to hate.
Oh, I love that you give me the ideas in public. Like, if you say this and I hate it, what do you want me to say on mic right now?
That once we hit 150, then we go through the 5 great Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals.
Oh.
But I mean, come on, we got some time. How long is it going to take for us to hit 150?
No, hopefully I'll be dead by then.
But guys, if you want to hear that.
But we've already done the Brandy Cinderella, right?
That's not one of the 5 greats, though.
Oh,
the 5 greats are Oklahoma, Carousel, South Pacific, King
If
Ice
this
Sound
means I don't have to review any of those until then.
Yeah, that's why I've been putting them,
that.
That's why I've been putting them off.
Oh, so this has been
because we would have listened to like some of those very much more recently.
I mean, I think I've seen Oklahoma.
Yeah, but you haven't reviewed it on 2K Math.
Yeah, I'll give you a short review. Sucks.
But you saw Oklahoma when you were younger.
I did.
Yeah, you're older now, more mature. You know more about musical theater. You like fucking Guys and Dolls.
I did, but I feel like I still prefer like a Next to Normal. Like I feel like we're just not giving me more modern musicals lately because we know I'll like them. But is that bad?
But to know older musicals, you will appreciate the more modern musicals even more. You know the history of where they came from.
Okay, something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just something to think about. Something to drink about. Drink l'chaim to life.
Is that from Fiddler?
Yes. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just because of the l'chaim.
Oh, and also I love Gwen Stefani, so.
Sure. I don't know where this podcast went, but you know what?
I like that it was
a much needed discussion.
Yeah, we just needed to talk about it.
So now we are on to giving you moments stuff.
Yes, darling, and Matt Steele. This is also the section of the show where we talk about what has gotten us through the hard, dark weeks in LA.
Yeah, and this has been a little bit of a hard week for me.
Well, what's been giving you moments this week, Matt Steele?
Another op-ed that I discovered. No. Sorry, this wasn't an op-ed. I just wanted to say the word op-ed because I feel smart. Another article that I discovered at like 2:00 in the morning.
Okay. What are you doing up so late also? Like, I feel like...
Oh, yeah. Well, I get home from work late and then I'm like, I'm going to go to bed. But then I just kind of like lay on the couch and I'm just like,
Well, right. What was that?
So IndieWire released an absolutely insane article this week about how Mary Steenburgen, Academy Award winning Best Supporting Actress, Mary Steenburgen is now a songwriter and she... Okay, you're going to absolutely hate this story. It's going to make you want to vomit.
Okay.
So Mary Steenburgen, apparently 10 years ago, had a minor surgery on her arm. Mm-hmm. After she woke up from anesthesia, apparently she was suddenly obsessed with music. Okay. And all she heard was just music in her head, music in her head, music in her head. And she was like, I don't like, to the point where it was a problem and it was distracting her from being able to accomplish anything else. And so she was like, well, I should try writing music. So she started writing music, and that has happened. Like people wake up from surgeries or whatever and suddenly they can like play the piano or something. Right. You know, it's weird and it doesn't sound like it should be real, but apparently it's a thing that happens. So like, who are we to judge? And Mary Steenburgen is just a doll and a wonderful person, so we should believe everything that she says. So apparently she started working with people to help her learn how to take the music that was in her head and to put it into song form. So then she reached out to a music lawyer under a pseudonym and gave him songs. They wanted to work with her. She walked through the door as Mary Steenburgen and was like, wait, like you're Mary Steenburgen. So then she was signed to Universal, I think,
as a musician,
as a writer. She went to Nashville and apparently had like a bunch of sessions. And she has like this story about how her first writing session was like really bad, and she went back to her hotel crying, and she was just like, "What am I doing? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm 54 years old, and I'm trying this brand new thing." And it's not just like, oh, I'm picking up knitting. It's like, no, I'm trying this insanely hard, challenging new thing that people have spent their entire lives like trying to do. Yeah. So then she worked at it for several years. No one knew about this. So there was a movie that came out earlier this year called Wild. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's Wild Rose, and it's about a British woman. I think it's based on a true story. Who she's from Scotland, and she has like a bad past of she came out of jail, all this stuff and everything, and she wants to become a country singer. Okay. So about this Scottish woman who's trying to sing country music, and there's a climactic song at the end. And it came out in this article that this song was written by Mary Steenburgen. And so I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, this song, please be good, please be good, please be good. I listened to it. It's lovely. Like, it's so good. It's so catchy. Like, it's just beautiful. It's called Glasgow, in parentheses, No Place Like Home. Okay. Which of course is, and by the title, it's a little saccharine. Yes. There are a number of Wizard of Oz references. Okay. But like, it's a genuinely very, very, very good song.
If you were given the chance to vote for best song, and it was Spirit, Taylor Swift's Cat Song, and Glasgow, which would you choose?
I might choose this.
Wow. I gotta listen to it.
Like, you listen to it and you're kind of just like, okay, like, it's a little cheesy, but it comes, I assume the movie, there's a lot of sentimentality in the movie, so the song fits. It's a very nice song. Like, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, this is a beautiful, weird, bonkers story, and I was just getting all of my life through it. And it's so funny because like her son, who's a filmmaker, like tweeted about, and he was just like, my mom hears music in her head and it's crazy, but I'm really proud of her. And like, he's interviewed in the article, and he's just like, yeah, it was weird. One day my mom just like started talking to me about indie bands and like picking up instruments, and now she plays the accordion, and it's really weird.
She plays the accordion?
Yeah, like really, she was just like desperate to like have an outlet that she just like learned bunch of instruments, and like now she plays the accordion, and it's just like, and now she writes this song that's like actually really, 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 really good. And it's like, oh my God. I love Mary Steenburgen. Mary Steenburgen is also a fan of mine.
What is she?
She just like retweeted my Best Supporting Actress Oscar video, and she was just like, I was cracking up the whole time. And I was like, oh my God, Mary. So yeah, we stand Mary Steenburgen in this podcast.
That was a good time for you.
She supports me, so I'm going to support her. Everyone give her song a stream. Oscar voters, you're out there listening, vote for it.
I'm curious to hear it.
Yeah. You'll be like, this is nice. Like, this is a nice, good song.
Okay. Yeah. I want that. So I only have a couple of things that were kind of giving me moments this week. The first of which we've kind of touched on. BravoCon was happening this weekend. I am so jealous that I'm not there. I'm thinking about buying tickets for next year when they come up, even though they were $1 billion and like sold out in 15 minutes or something.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm thinking about looking into that, but it's so expensive, but it looks so much fun. I'm really excited about the new Vanderpump Rules trailer. So I appreciate that. I also like the the Summer House trailer. And I've never been a big Summer House stan, but like, I'm kind of curious about that. I also have been going back and watching old Real Housewives of New Jersey, because I always felt like that was kind of in my Housewives history a blind spot. And like, man, Danielle's crazy, huh? And I realize I'm literally 10 years late with this, but like, I'm on season 2 now, and it's like, man, she would just bring felons to these events. Like,
oh shit.
She would bring people who had been in jail before to these events, who would threaten children of other housewives, call them faggots, and like, it was just a complete wreck. Like, this woman is, I remember that was why I didn't watch it, because I was like, I feel like someone could get killed. And so now that it's been 10 years and no one's died on the show, I'm like, oh, now I feel like it's safe to watch. So I'm giving it a watch and enjoying that. I'd also like to give a shout out to something that's been giving me moments for the past couple of weeks. I've been on a cinnamon roll kick.
You really have. Guys, in the last like 2 weeks, we've had a bunch of cinnamon rolls. So I walk in and I'm just like, smells cinnamon.
Hey, well, I had a moment where I was doing Pillsbury cinnamon rolls that were just, from the market, from the Ralphs, and they just were fucking garbage. And I was like, why? I feel like in my memory, Pillsbury growing up was the cinnamon roll to get.
Well, I feel like they were the OG, like they were the only kind that there were.
And I don't know, but I remember them being wonderful. But every time I made them in our oven, even the old oven, which was garbage, and the new oven, which was iconic, they were always so hard and just like not good until you got into the very, very middle of it. And I'm just like,
did they change the recipe? Because Pillsbury cinnamon rolls used to be it. Like, they used to be.
They're not it anymore. I think they must have changed it over the 25 years since our childhood. But Annie's organic cinnamon rolls, A+. I feel like maybe you can cook them a little less time than it tells you. I did 15 minutes last night instead of 18 minutes, and it was really the best I've gotten through. They're really good. They're really soft. They're not hard and overdone, and like they're very flavorful. So I just wanted to promote those for all of us.
Makes me want to sing Annie, Annie, Annie. Look what you've done for us, Annie.
What is that?
Annie, Annie. Meals are now fun for us.
What is that?
From Annie.
Oh.
From the Broadway show Annie.
Have I seen? Did we have to review that?
We never reviewed it. You refused because
because
on Patreon we reviewed the Turning Points.
Yes, and that was truly the saddest thing I've ever watched. Truly the most.
So he's just like, I'm never reviewing Annie.
No, I can't support Annie now. And then lastly, I wanted to point out. Well, we all know I stand Ben Platt.
Okay.
And I liked The Politician, and I feel like a lot of people didn't, but I thought it was very cute and over the top and splashy and campy and fun. And he put out in the past few weeks, they put out a music from the show, music from the Netflix original series, The Politician, and I think we all should take a listen to it. His version of Joni Mitchell's River is absolutely gorgeous and wonderful. He also does a song called Unworthy of Your Love and Vienna, which I believe are in musicals that I don't really know what the musicals are.
Wait.
What?
Unworthy of Your Love?
Yeah.
He sings, I am unworthy of your love.
Yeah, I think so.
He covers Unworthy
What's
of
it
Your
from?
Love. It's from Assassins.
Oh.
Sondheim's Assassins, about Squeaky Fromme and, John Hinckley.
Yes, they obviously are shoehorning him singing in this show, and they are putting on a production of that in the high school.
Oh, okay. So they're doing a production of Assassins. He's not just doing a cover of Unworthy.
No, just for no reason. But he also has a song, and it's the last song on this Politician soundtrack, which is an original of his, and it's called Runaway. I think it is so lovely. It has such almost like a Jason Robert Brown feel. Like it's kind of like the story of how his parents met, and and it's like, I might not be the best person in the world, I might not be wise, and I won't save the day, but I won't run away. And like that's kind of the chorus, the chorus of it. It's very sweet. It first talks about his parents getting together, then it talks about his mother comforting him as a child, and then it talks about him with I assume a male romantic interest in the third verse. And it's just like such a lovely song, a great melody, a great piano line. And it kind of reminds me of I'm 15 for a moment. Remember that song by Five for Fighting?
Yes.
I always thought that song was lovely. And I will say, I feel like we have a patron. I think Jimmy is a big Ben Platt fan, Jimmy Donahue.
Maybe Jimmy,
I feel like he is. And he was like, you've got to give the album a listen. You've got to give his album a listen. And so I did listen to his album. It's still very boring to me, but that's the last song on the album. It's
I thought you stand Ben Platt.
I do, and I love his new single, "Fucking Rain." It's not called "Fucking Rain." It's called "Rain."
Fucking Rain.
Fucking Rain. I love Rain, and I love Runaway.
Okay.
So, yes.
You just don't want him to be so serious.
I don't. You just, it's like when Lady Gaga played Joanne for her grandmother, and she said, "Don't be so maudlin." And that is my message to Ben.
I think that is one of the funniest things.
Oh my God! I can't believe
the fact that her own grandmother was just like, well, let's not get maudlin.
It's like, girl, get over it. It's just also funny that they kept that in the movie.
It's so funny.
It's very so funny. If you haven't seen Gaga 5'2", that is the moment to skip to.
Just her grandmother shading her about her own dead daughter.
Oh, what a time. Oh,
I love it all.
It was so great. Guys, thank you guys so much for listening. And if you have something to email us, we would love to email my heart again, and go to 2gaymats, TWOgaymats@gmail.com. Send us your question or comment, and maybe you'll read it on air. Also, if you enjoy us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats, like Matt Steele told you to 9 times this episode. For as little as $1 video, you get an extra bonus video from us every single week. Our main channel, youtube.com/2gaymats. We just talked about Taylor Swift a lot. And
a lot. And a lot of people have things to say to us.
I know people are mad at us, but you know what? I stand by what I said.
But we were very nice.
We were very nice about that garbage cat song.
It is not a garbage song. That we said in the video, there are really nice moments.
There are nice moments.
It's just that there's the one section of the chorus that runs way too long. Yes. It doesn't need to be there. Yes. If they just got rid of that, I think the song would be great.
The song would be good.
It would be very good.
Good.
It's no Glasgow.
No.
It's no Glasgow.
And it's no Safe and Sound, which people kept saying. It's as good as Safe and Sound.
What is Safe?
Safe and Sound is her song from The Hunger Games that she did with another group that I can't remember the name of now, but it's lovely, truly one of her best songs. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Is there anything else we need to tell the people?
We love you all.
Yeah, we love you so much. We'll be back soon next week with another 2Gay Mats podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye.